Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning. Myself Muralidhar Reddy. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about what is Route 53, why we use Route 53, what are the benefits of using Route 53. We will see. Okay. And here, what is Route 53? Route 53 is the service provided by AWS team. Using this Route 53, it helps to manage the domain names and control how internet traffic gets to your website or other resources. Using this Route 53, right, we can define, we can create a one domain and we can define that, where you want to be route the traffic, which resource you want to be route the traffic will be configured inside the Route 53. Okay. And this particular Route 53, you can register domains inside the Route 53, right? If you want, you can register the domains, and also you can manage the DNS settings, which tells the internet where to find your site, including, a record, you can use the a record, okay, cname record, mx record, txt record. There are different types of records types available. Using that particular record types, right, we can define and we can give the direct IP address or load balancer. Okay, you can create the cname as well. Okay, fine, understand, right? It will be manage the DNS settings, and it is also helps in controlling how traffic is routed and ensuring your website stays available. Okay, even if there are any issues, right? By using things like routing traffic is based on where users are located, and also checking the health of your servers to avoid downtime. It will also check that health check of your health of your servers to avoid the particular downtime. Again, I'm telling Route 53. It majorly like we can to manage that domain names and control how traffic needs to be. Getting into the particular website. Okay, or the resources for that one, right? Will be use this particular Route 53. Here, Route 53 is the global level. It is not like region specific. We will be create this particular Route 53 global level. It means like a single account. You can create a Route 53 and you can able to see it. It is not like region specific. Okay, I can understand, right? Fine. And there are a lot of benefits. And also one more thing, this Route 53 it will support two types. One is public hosted zone, and second one is private hosted zone. Okay, later part we will discuss more on that one. Now you can go to the benefits of using Route 53. One is highly reliable, okay, scalable and easy to use, simple and also flexible and cost effective, secure and also health check. There are multiple benefits available. We can see in details these benefits so that you will get some idea. Okay, for that one, right? First one, highly reliable. AWS built highly available infrastructure, ensuring consistent routing to web application via distributed DNS servers. Whatever providing the when you create the Route 53 hosted zone, right, it will be generate that distributed DNS servers through the particular DNS servers. It will be consistently, it will be route the traffic to that particular web applications. Okay, understand that? You can scalable, automatically scale resources. Okay, during high traffic, handle large queries without user intervention. You don't require to manually go and update. Hey, currently we are getting high traffic, I need to increase it. No, you don't require. Everything will be taking care automatically. Backend, everything will be taken care by Route 53 only, and also it will handle the large queries without manual user intervention. Okay, without manual involvement. Okay, and easy to use and user friendly. Also, this particular Route 53 user friendly interface for DNS settings configuration, and also DNS queries start resolving within minutes. Remember, when you create the hosted zone, and you will be update that particular hosted zone DNS records in wherever your domain is available. Okay, and then what we can do, right, we can create the record, and then the particular record, right, if you give whatever you give the record, right, the particular record will be resolved within a minute, within a minutes only. It won't take much time. Okay, understand, right? And then health check. And health check, this particular health check, right, we can monitor application health and redirect traffic to healthy resources if failures are detected. If any failures are detected, right, it will be redirected only healthy resources only. The traffic, it will be route to healthy resources only. Okay, we can monitor like this. And also flexible, allow for various routing policies based on needs. Okay, there are different types of routing policies also available. Depends on use cases will be followed. By default, one is simple routing and also geolocation, weighted, okay, IP based. There are different types of routing policies available. Okay, depends on use cases, we'll be use it. Usually, right, we'll be use the default one, simple routing only. Okay, depends on use. Again, I'm telling, depends on use cases, we'll be use it. Later, but we can discuss more on that particular routing policies as well. Okay, and next one is simple. You can use it simply, I mean, manage global traffic with different routing types. Okay, different types of routing types is available, as I said earlier. Okay, we have a record, cname, a record, okay, txt record. There are multiple records types also available, okay, with the different routing types. Here we have, as I said earlier, we have a different policies. Depends on that one, we can easy to route the traffic, okay, manage the global traffic. Understand, right? And cost effective, we can pay only for use service needed. Okay, it means like I will create the route 53 hosted zone. Okay, if you create the hosted zone, right, so far currently per month they will be charged $1, and if you can create a multiple records, okay, then whatever records we can create the records and we can attach that destination. It means like we can attach a record, I mean this a record with load balancer, IP address, okay, whatever using those resources, right, we have to pay for. When it comes to the route 53, it is not much chargeable. Okay, understand, right? And secure also, we can integrate with this route 53, integrate with IAM for secure access. Okay, providing a permissions to authorized users only. Okay, providing permissions to authorized users only. Understand, right? Here you can integrate with the IAM for secure access and providing permissions to authorized users only. Okay, and also we can integrate with the AWS services. In this particular Route 53, right, we can create a hosted zone, and then with the particular hosted zone, right, you can map the domains like with the domain names to EC2, okay, S3 bucket, load balancer, either application load balancer, network load balancer, okay, and also cloudflare. There are multiple services we can integrate with Route 53. Okay, we can map with Route 53. Okay, understand that? These are the major benefits, and also you can go to that. I mean, you can log into the particular AWS account. Currently, I'm in AWS. Now, as I said, right, this Route 53 is the global level. Okay, now if you go here, Route 53, and here you can see it, right? Scalable DNS and domain name registration. Click this one. And if you see here, I'm in this particular, right? Now, if you see here, it is a global one. It is global one. Now, here you can see the hosted zones, right? Currently, we have a one hosted zone. Okay, here you can see that this is a hosted zone, and this is the type whether it is public or private. And when it was created, Route 53, total how many records is available, everything you can able to see it. In case if you want to be created, create a hosted zone, and here you can give the hosted zone name. Example, I'm giving tech one with Murli. Okay. .com. Just I'm giving techcall with Murli.com, and then here we have two options. One is public hosted zone. When we will be use this public hosted zone, right? In case if you want to be access your application over the internet, we'll be use this particular public hosted zone. Especially, right, for production level, we'll be create the production is nothing but live. Example, we have this particular techcall with Murli website. This website is live. Currently, anyone can able to access. It means like this website, this particular hosted zone in Route 53 will be create the public hosted zone. Then it will be generate that particular name servers. Wherever this domain is available, we have to update those name servers. You can go here, right? Select this existing one, example .in. Okay, and here now here you can come down. Here you can see, right, the particular name servers is available. This name servers, what we will do, right? We will be updating wherever my domain is available. My domain is available in GoDaddy. It means like I need to update in GoDaddy this domain so that it will be resolved. Okay, understand that? Second option is second one is only within the VPC. When you select the private hosted zone, right? It means like within the VPC it will be resolved. Within the VPC, it will be resolved. It means like you have to connect the client VPN, then you can connect, you can access your private hosted zones. Remember, guys, private hosted zones you can access within the VPC only. Okay, within the VPC, you can't access this whatever creating the records, right? You can't access outside. When we will be with this particular private hosted zone, right? Especially when for dev QA UAT pre-product, for that one, right? We don't require to provide the access to internet. Then what we will do, right? We'll be create the private hosted zone, then we'll be integrate that IP, I mean, the particular load balancer IP addresses. Okay, whatever. Okay, we'll be clear the record everything. Clear, right? Simple. Route 53. In Route 53, right, we'll be clear the hosted zone and we can clear the records. Using that particular records, we can access our applications using with the domain name instead of IP address or load balancer. IP address or load balancer. Okay, understand, right? IP address or load balancer. Usually, right, what we can do, we'll be accessing using public IP or private IP, or we will be accessing LB URL, right? It is not recommended. That's why we have to be create the domain and then we have to be create our records here. Example, you can see it here. We have a microservice one. If you see here, this is the A record. Here we have a microservice one. Using this microservice one, right, we can access our application. We can access our application. Okay, clear, right? Are any questions now? No, right? I can also show you like types of policies available. Okay, types of record types available. Okay, we can see it here. Record types also you can see it here. Okay, there are different types of record types. Everything we can discuss later part. This video only for understanding what exactly Route 53, what are the benefits of using Route 53. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? If any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about types of hosted zones in Route 53. Before going to know about types of hosted zones in Route 53, first we need to understand what exactly hosted zone. Okay, hosted zone is a container that holds information about how you want Amazon Route 53 to respond to DNS queries for either domain or subdomains. And also inside the hosted zone, it contains collection of resource records. It means like you can create a multiple records inside the hosted zone. To it, the particular that Route 53 returns in response to the DNS queries. Let's take an example. I have created on a hosted zone. Inside the hosted zone, I can create a multiple records. Example, demo.techwall.murli.in. Example, my hosted zone name is techwall.murli.in. I can create inside the particular hosted zone. I can create a multiple records. Okay, there are multiple types of records available. One is public hosted zone. Sorry, there are different types of hosted zones available. One is public hosted zone. Second one is private hosted zone. Coming to the public hosted zone, right? When you create the public hosted zone, this will be accessed over the internet. It will be resolved over the internet. Let's take an example. Especially, we'll be create a public hosted zone for production. The reason is like production is nothing but live, right? Example, you can take google.com, amazon.com, flipkart.com. Okay, everything, right? Everything over the internet only. So it means like the particular record should be in public hosted zone only. So, and one more thing, coming to the private hosted zone, we can create for internal purpose. Within a VPC, if you want to be work the particular domains, I mean records, we can create a private hosted zone. In this particular private hosted zone, right? It will be when you are creating the private hosted zone, we have to select what type of which VPC you need to be resolve this particular hosted zone. Okay, there are two types, especially for private hosted zone, will be create for dev, QA, UAT. Okay, when it comes to the public hosted zone, right, will be create for production. Okay, understand, right? There are two types of hosted zones. One is public hosted zone, second one is private hosted zone. Especially public hosted zone will be used for production. Okay, we can see that in detail so that you'll get some idea. Types of hosted zones, as I said, we have a public hosted zone. This public hosted zone, it will be publicly accessible on the internet. And coming to the private hosted zone, right, it will be you can manage this particular domain within the VPC only. Okay, within the VPC you can able to access. As I said, right, if you create a public hosted zone, you can access your hosted zone. I mean, if you create any record, right, you can access over the internet. Okay, and if you create the private hosted zone, right, until unless you connected any client VPN or Cisco, you can't access your application. Okay, any record also you can't access it. Okay, clear, right? Now we can see that in console so that you will get some idea. I mean, currently Route 53, if we see here, currently we have a one hosted zone. I already created this one. And if you see here, techwall with Mulli.in, this is the one of the hosted zone. Okay, now if you see here, this is the type is public one and created by Route 53. Total we have 4 records and everything. Now you can click this one. Now if you go here, okay, now if you go here, here we have a different types of hosted zones. And one more thing, guys, if you create a public hosted zone, right? If you create a public hosted zone, okay, this name servers, whatever we have a name servers, right? This name servers you have to update at domain level. Example, your domain is available in GoDaddy. Okay, inside the GoDaddy, you have to update whatever namespaces currently we have created in our Route 53. Okay, clear, right? If you are just creating techol with mulli.in public hosted zone, if you are not updating these name servers in either GoDaddy or HostNJ, wherever it's your domain is available, it won't work, even if you create this one. Okay, clear, right? You should be create. If you create a private hosted zone, you don't require to update the name servers, because that particular private hosted zone, it is resolving only within the VPC, right? That's why we don't require to do anything. Okay, fine, clear. Now what exactly, now what is the next step? Now, if you see here, let's take example. We have two records. I already created two records just for showcasing purpose. Okay, if you see here, one is test.equal with mulli.in. I have updated public host, public IP. It means like it will be accessed over the internet. Okay, let's take example. I'm taking this one, copy this one, and now I'm opening NSLookup. Okay, now I'm opening NSLookup. NSLookup is nothing but name servers lookup. Using this one, you can your domain, right? You, whatever you record, right, whether it is resolving or not, you can able to check it. If you observe here, this particular test.equal with murli.in, it is resolving whatever we mentioned the public IP. Even if you go with second one, right? If you see here MS1, right? MS1, if you check this MS1, MS1 also MS is nothing but microservice one. I have created techol with mulli.in. I have updated private IP. Okay, even though I have updated private IP, I'm trying to resolve this one. Okay, copy this one. I'm trying to resolve this one. If you see here, even though I have given the private IP, if we give that specific record, even I haven't connected any client VPN or Cisco. I'm directly in my laptop. I'm trying to resolve this particular record. It is resolving. The reason is I have created this one. Is public hosted zone. Whether it is private or public doesn't matter. It will be resolved. Remember, guys, whether you mention the public IP or private IP doesn't matter. It will be resolved. But the thing is, if I am trying to access this application, MS-1, it won't work. You have to connect client VPN. The reason is it is in internal, right? 10 series is nothing but internal. You have to connect either client VPN. Okay, you have to connect that particular client VPN, right? But if you use test.equal with murli.in, right? This is a public IP. You can access from, even you can access now as well. You can access now. Okay, understand, right? You can access now as well. Understand, right? This is the major difference. It means like even if you create a public hosted zone, if you updated a private IP, okay, usually public hosted zone, it will be resolved. Even if you are not connecting any client VPN, you can use NSLookup, it will be resolved because our hosted zone is public hosted zone. But it means it is resolving means it won't be accessed. Okay, if it is private IP, right, it won't be accessed. It won't be accessed means you can't access your MS-1.equal with murli.in application. You have to connect client VPN or Cisco, whatever using in your organization, especially in organization level, right? If they are using AWS service, they will be use the client VPN. We have a client VPN concept as well. Later part, you will get some idea. Okay, understand, right? This is the MS-1 equal with murli.in. You can access your private related. You can update internal IP also. You can update a private IP also. You can update application load balancer, internal network load balancer, internal also. Okay, it will work. Okay, it will work. Especially in real time, right? What we will do, we'll be create a one domain. Okay, inside the domain, we'll be create the public hosted zone, and then we can give it both public and private. It will be work. Only drawback is if you create a public hosted zone, if I use NSLookup, not only me, even if you use anyone in entire world, they can resolve what exactly this particular domain, what is the load balancer, they can easy to see it. Okay, but when you use the private hosted zone, okay, until unless if you connect the client VPN, you can't resolve it. That is a major difference. But especially in real time, right, we require both public and private, especially public for production, private for private for dev QA UAT, right? During that time, you can use same public hosted zone only. And one more thing, right? If we create a public hosted zone also, we can create a subdomain delegation. Subdomain delegation means like we can create one main techwall with Murli. We can create a multiple hosted zones dev.techwall with Murli.in. It will become name servers, right? Those name servers we can give it update in main techwall with Murli.in. Okay, we can update that one also. I will show you later part that part like subdomain delegation so that you will get some idea. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? This is one of the most important in interview level of whether you are really worked or not, what type of hosted zone you have used, and why you have used only public one, why you have used only private one. Okay, especially remember guys, in real time we majorly will be use the public hosted zone, and then we'll be use subdomain delegation, and also we'll be use that, I mean, inside the public hosted zone we can create both records, we'll be create the records and we'll be update both public IP address, private IP address, also public load balancer, application load balancer, internet or internet also we can update internal also. If you update inside the record, if you update private host, private load balancer, right? You have to connect client VPN, then you have to access your application. If you update a public IP or public application load balancer, you can access your application over the internet. Only differentiation is if you create a hosted zone in public, okay, even if you're not connecting to the client VPN, okay, you can resolve it. You can resolve and using NS lookup, what is this particular record, what is the IP address, whether public or private IP address, you can able to resolve it. Okay, understand that? Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about how do we create the public hosted zone in Route 53. Okay, let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So we already having the domain. The domain name is techwallwithmurli.in. So using that one, you can create a hosted Route 53 hosted zone, and also we can update our name servers to the specific domain. Okay, for that one, right, I already log into the AWS account, and you can search it here, Route 53. Okay, and remember again, Route 53 is the global level. It is not like specific region. Okay, remember this point. If you see here, it is a global level. In left side, you can click the hosted zones. Okay, here I'm going to create the public hosted zone. Okay, create a hosted zone. Here it is asking the domain name. Currently in GoDaddy, right? I already purchased a GoDaddy. I mean domain in GoDaddy. We have a domain. The domain name is techwallwithmurli.in. Okay, we will be create a hosted zone here, and it will get the name servers. We can update in our GoDaddy, because currently this particular domain in GoDaddy, right? This particular domain is GoDaddy name servers. Okay. Now what we need to do, right? Once we create, you will get name servers. You have to update in GoDaddy. I will show you that one as well. Okay. Now I'm creating Techwall with Murli. Okay. Example, this is the one of the company. Okay. Techwall with Murli, and our domain is techwallwithmurli.in. Okay. Techwallwithmurli.in. And in case if you want, you can give that description as well. Currently, I'm giving the same description. And here, very most important, whether you want to be create a public hosted zone or private hosted zone. If you select the public hosted zone, right, you can access this application, this URL anywhere, entire world. Okay, if we select the private hosted zone, right, it will be resolved only within the VPC. Okay, currently we are creating the public hosted zone. Okay, and also we can show you one thing in techwallwithmurli.com, right? This is the one of the website. This is publicly accessible. Okay, so same thing currently we are going to create for public hosted zone. Okay, now what I'm doing here, right? I'm giving that name, and you can give the techwallwithmurli.in, and you can create the hosted zone. Now, if you see here, we have created a hosted zone. This is fine. Now, what you have to do, once we create the hosted zone, you will get a hosted zone ID. Okay, hosted zone name, whether you enable the query log or not. If you see here, you got the name servers. When you create that hosted zone, right, you will get 4 name servers. These 4 name servers you have to update in at domain level, so that this Techwall with Murli can be resolved. Okay, fine. Now you can see the hosted zone ID, and also you can see whether it is public hosted zone or private hosted zone. Okay, and also you can see the description, total how many records we have. Currently we have 2 records. One is NS is nothing but name server records. If you see here we have a name servers, and also one more is SOA, start of authority. Okay. Now you can see it here. When you create the record, it will be create the default 2 records. Okay. Now what you have to do, you can edit this name server, select the particular one, edit it. Currently, it is set up to 2 days TTL mode. Okay, TTL is nothing but time to live. Now I'm updating to 1 minute. Okay, now you can save this one. Okay, now I have saved this particular. TTL mode. Okay, now if you see here, now specific one, this particular name server we kept TTL is 60 seconds only. It means 1 minute only. What are the uses of this one? If you update this one, right, TTL mode is 60 seconds. In case if someone is modified, right, same within 60 seconds, still it will be resolved same IPs, same whatever we mentioned. After 1 minute only, it will be changed whatever we applied. Okay, fine. Now what we have to do? Now you can copy this particular name servers. Okay. Now I'm copy this one, and then we can go to the GoDaddy. Go to the GoDaddy. Here we have a domain. Techol with mulli.in. You can select the DNS. Okay. If you are not aware how do we purchase this GoDaddy domain, right? Please have a look our existing video so that you'll get some idea. Okay. Now you can come down. Now if you see here you have an option name servers. Click this name servers. Currently it is pointing to GoDaddy name servers. Now what you have to do, you have to update to our Route 53 the name servers details, so that this particular domain, wherever it is available in GoDaddy or HostEngine and anywhere, the domain, it will be using that Route 53 name servers only. Okay, understand, right? Now what you have to do, change name servers. Currently, if you see here, GoDaddy name servers recommended. Now I'm choosing I will use my own name servers, and then you can come to here, you can copy this particular one. Okay, you can copy this particular one and you can paste it here. Okay, total we have 4. Copy this. See here, name servers. Okay, now you can update here. Okay, just name servers, and then you can update co.uk.org. Okay, and also final one is .NET. You have to update 4 name servers here. Okay, add more, and then you can save it. Once we done, right, it will ask continue or not. Okay, now you can click the continue button. Okay, now if it's once you continue, right, you can see it here. Just refresh this one. Earlier it was GoDaddy name servers, right? Now it is updated to our Route 53 name servers. Okay, fine. You have to wait 1 or 2 minutes. Even though we mentioned that TTL mode 60 seconds, you have to wait 1 or 2 minutes to resolve this particular domain. If you see here, I'm going this particular domain, copy this. Okay, I'm opening NS lookup. Okay, NS is nothing but name server lookup. Okay, you can run this one, whether it is resolving or not, you will get to know. Okay, now you can use this one. If you see here, it is resolving specific domain. It means like whatever we mentioned in Route 53, right? This particular Route 53, when we create the route, we call hosted zone. It is created a name server, right? Those name servers we have updated in our domain. Okay, domain. Now it is resolving. That's why you are getting this one. If it is not resolving, right, it will throw the error. Okay, now understand, right? Now you can see it here. Currently it is fine. Okay, now you can see it here. Fine. Now, okay, fine. Now we have 1 second. Now we have updated the domains, and also we can see it here. Now let's take an example. We have one EC2 instance. Inside the EC2 instance, you have installed the specific one. Okay, fine. HTTP. Now, if you see here, we have a Linux server. Inside the Linux server, I have installed HTTPD. Now I'm able to access this one. Now instead of accessing this application, hello world. Okay. Now what I need to do, HTTP only, not HTTPS. Okay. This particular hello Muralidhar Reddy, instead of IP address, I need to access this application through domain. So what you have to do, right? We already created a public hosted zone, right? So what you have to do, go to Route 53, select the specific hosted zone. Currently we have techwall with mulli.in, right? Select this one and go to create a record. Okay. Now here I'm giving test.techwall with mulli.in. Here I'm selecting the A record. We can discuss more on this record tab. Just select the A record and you can give the public IP. Okay, just you have to give the public IP, not HTTP something. Okay, now you can give the TTL mode is 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute is nothing but 60 seconds. And here default routing policy, you can select simple routing only. Just to create the record. So instead of accessing this application using this private this particular IP, I want to accessing using domain. Okay, test.techallwithmurli.in. Let's see. Okay, what is happening now? What I'm doing here, right? I'm entering here. Now, if you see here, it is not yet resolving. Wait for few seconds. Just now we have updated, right? We can wait for few seconds so that it will be pointing to the particular IP so that it will be work. If you observe here, okay, if you observe here, it is showing even we updated test.techallwithmurli.in. It is showing like existent domain because just now we have updated, right? You have to wait for 1 minute. We kept our TTL is 1 minute, right? That's why you have to wait for 1 minute. Okay, we can wait for 1 minute so that it will be resolved that particular URL. Okay. Now, if you see here, test.techallwithmurli.in. Okay. Now it is pointing to whatever we mentioned a record, right? 10.100.24.67.95. So it is resolving. It means like this particular domain is working fine. Now what you have to do, right? You can go to Google and you can search like test.techallwithmurli.in. Now you can able to access this application. Okay, you can ignore this not secure because it is not yet set up any certificate. That's why it is this URL is working HTTP only. Okay, later part we can see that HTTPS as well. But currently you understand, right? I have created one EC2 instance. Inside the EC2 instance, we have installed HTTPD, and then I'm able to access using IP address as well. But instead of IP address, I need to connect this particular application through domain. For that one, I have selected a hosted zone. Okay, and then I have created a new A record, and then I have updated our public IP, and then I'm trying to access this one. I have waited for 1 minute because we kept TTL is 1 minute, right? Initially, it will take little bit time. Okay. So once we're done, right, you can choose this test.techallwithmurli.in. Now I'm able to access our application instead of IP address using a domain. Okay. Record name. Okay. Now fine, right? Remember, guys, once you create, right, you can use NS lookup and you can try to use this particular test.techallwithmurli.in. If it is resolving, means this particular record, it is working fine. Okay, then you can access the application using that record name. Example test.techallwithmurli.in, and then I can able to access in real time, right? It may contains like a /health something. Okay, you have to give the entire path v1/health v1/health something, it will be there. You have to give entire URL to access your application, whether it is working or not. Okay, understand that? This is the process of creating the record and updating this name servers to that GoDaddy because our domain is in GoDaddy. You can also create our domain in our AWS also. Here you have an option domain, register domains, and you can purchase the domain and you can enroll here. I mean, you can update here as well. In case if you want to be transfer our domain from GoDaddy to here also, you can do that one. But usually, right, in real time, depends on use cases. Some of the organizations, they may you maintain our domains in GoDaddy, Hostinger, some other domain centers, and also some of the projects, right, they directly purchase in AWS Route53. They can maintain. If you want to be registered, you can do that one. Whether you want to be, which one you have to do, you have to search and you have to example something I'm giving. Okay, and then you can search it. Now you can see it whether .com, everything you can able to see it here, and also you can see the specific pricing as well. Remember, compared to GoDaddy, this AWS domains is little bit expensive. Okay, fine. Anyway, now you can see it here. Now we have created and we have updated, and then we have created one record, and also we have updated the one A record, and we are accessing instead of IP address, we are accessing using IP domain name, record name. Okay, understand that? One of the most important thing here, whether you really worked or not, okay, they can easy to identify. They will ask the question like, hey, have you worked on Route 53? If say no, they can easy to identify, okay, this guy is not aware of anything in real time level, and also he didn't work on Route 53. They won't be hire you. The major reason, right, this Route 53 is AWS backbone, because if you want to be access your application over the internet, example, techworldwithmurli.com, techworldwithmurli.in, right? Even if you use this URL, right, you can also access this application from anywhere, not only my laptop, anywhere in the world. Okay, so that is the one thing. Second thing, we will be create depends on use cases. We'll be create either public hosted zone and private hosted zone. But when it comes to the public hosted zone, right, if you want to be access your application over the internet, it means, right, let's take example techworldwithmurli.in. If someone wants to be accessed, okay, we will be create our hosted zone is public one. In case if someone wants to be access only internal purpose, example dev environment, QA, UAT, prod, those things will be, sorry, dev, QA, UAT will be created. Hosted zone is a private hosted zone. And when it comes to the production, because let's take example google.com, amazon.com, flipkart.com, all are public, right? So those things will be created. If in the hosted zone, it will be created is a public hosted zone. Okay, and one more thing you have to remember, only creating a record here, it means it won't work. You have to update your record only creating a hosted zone here, it means it won't work. You have to update your specific hosted zone name servers inside the domain, wherever your domain is available. Example I have shown, right? Our domain is available in GoDaddy. So that's why I have updated name servers in GoDaddy. Okay, then we have to wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes so that it will be reflect, and then you can install one server and you can install HTTPD. If you are not aware installing HTTPD, right? Please have a look our ALB concept. So I already showcased that. So please have a look so that you will get some idea how do we install. And also you can access, first you can access application using IP address. Then you can create a record in hosted zone. Then you can update it. And one more thing, once you create this hosted zone, right? Okay, it will be charged $1. Okay, $1 it will be charged for that per month. And then whatever we creating the records and also how much data is transferring, everything will be separate charges. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? We are going to discussing about what are records available in hosted zone, what types of records available in hosted zone. Coming to the record, right? In hosted zone, record is nothing but it is a DNS entry that maps the domain name to a IP address or another domain. Let's take example, if you are trying to create one record, right? In the particular record, we will be give it either IP address, or we can also give the another domain name, and also we can update our, when you're creating the record name, we can give it like DNS name. It means like load balancer name, load balancer DNS name as well. Okay, what will happen, right? When DNS resolver receive a request from domain name, example ms-1.techworldwithmurli.in, okay, demo.techworldwithmurli.in. So when you request, right, it queries the DNS server for the appropriate DNS record to resolve the domain to corresponding resources. It will be resolved it. Let's take example, you have created one record and you have updated your IP address or application load balancer DNS name. It will be resolved it, and it will be resolve the domain to the corresponding resources. There are different types of records available in hosted zone. Okay, first one is A record and AA record, and also cname record and MX record, NAPTR record, NS record. NS is nothing but name server record, PTR record, SOA record, okay, SPF record, and also SRV record, okay, TXT record. There are multiple, okay, almost to 10 records available. Okay, we can discuss one by one this so that you will get some idea. And also CAA record also we have. Okay, coming to that first one, A record. Okay, A is nothing but address record. So this particular A record, right, we can map to the domain name to IPv4 addresses. Example, you can directly, when you're creating the A record, right, you can directly update to the IP address IPv4, and also you can directly update to the IPv4 related, example load balancer, okay, application load balancer, network load balancer. Okay, we can update, and also it will be support other A records also. Okay, fine, right? And also AAA record, this is IPv6 address record. If you want to be mapped to the domain to the IPv6 addresses, we will be using AAA record. Remember, so far any organization, they won't be use any AA record so far. Okay, clear, right? But especially we will use the A record only. And coming to the cname record, canonical name record. Okay, let's take example. if you want to be mapped to domain name to another domain name, okay, creating an alias, you can use this particular cname. If you want to be create any alias, let's take example. You have one record. The record name is ms-1.techwall-with-murli.in. Okay, but in case if you want to be create a murli-test.techwall-with-murli.in, okay, even though if I hate murli-test.techwall-with-murli.in, it will be internally, it will be route to the ms-1 only. Okay, we can create a domain name to another domain. Okay, and the next one, mx record. Mx is nothing but mail exchange record. Using this mail exchange record, right, you can specify mail server responsible for accepting email messages for a domain. Okay, if you want to be accept that particular messages for specific domain, right, you'll be create a mx record as well, but very rare cases will be create that mx record. Okay, remember. And ns, this is one of the most important name servers record. Once you create the record, right, it will be create the name servers. Those name servers you have to update to the domain level. Okay, specify the name servers for a domain. And also we can use the PTR pointer record as well. This pointer record, it will be mapped to IP address to a domain name and use it for reserve DNS lookup. Okay, reverse DNS lookup purpose will be use it, but in real time, right, very rarely will be use it. And coming to that, SOA, start of authority record, when you create the hosted zone, right, by default it will be create the SOA also. SOA, it contains the information about the particular DNS zone and also including the primary one server, primary name server, and also contact details inside this particular SOA. Okay, fine. And SPF, sender policy framework record. Okay, this one, if you want to be servers, the specific servers authorized to send email on behalf of domain, will be use this SPF. Okay, SPF also will be create some of the use cases. Okay, but very rare. If you want to be, authorized to the particular domain, mails, behalf of that particular domain, we can use it. Mail is nothing but your mails. Okay, fine. SRV, service record. Okay, if you want to be specify location of service, specific service such as the web server or SIP server, you can use SRV service. Okay, service record, but very rarely we will be create this one as well. And finally, TXT record. When comes to the TXT record, right, if you want to allowing adding attribute text to DNS record, use it for domain verification or other purposes, we'll be use this particular TXT. TXT also frequently will be used TXT, especially guys, A record, okay, cname record, TXT. These three majorly will be used. And coming to the name servers, right, if you are creating any subdomain delegation, or if you once you create a hosted zone, right, if you want to update that particular name servers in either GoDaddy somewhere, wherever your domain is available, you have to update those name servers. Okay, fine, clear. Now just we can see it in demo so that you'll get some idea. So currently, if we see here, we have a one hosted zone. Now you can go it here, go to the hosted zones. Now you can see it here. We have a hosted zone. You can click this one. Okay, currently it is public hosted zone. You can create a hosted zone. Here, if you observe here you have to give the subdomain. Example, if you give, we can give it ms-1. You can give it any name. Okay, example, I'm giving testing. Okay, and if you see here we have different types of record types. If you see here, one is A record, AA record, cname, MX record, TXT, PTR, SRV, CAA. Okay, there are multiple records available. Remember one thing, especially again I'm telling, we will be using a record for IPv4, AA record for IPv6, but IPv6 we won't be using it in real time. We don't worry. But cname record, if you want to route the traffic to the another domain, you can use it. Okay, and also if you want to be specify mail servers, MX record, we can use it. TXT, use it for verify email sender, and for application specific values, we can use this one. PTR maps IP address to the domain. If you want to be do that, you can choose this particular PTR, and also SRV application specific values also. If you want, you can define that particular one. SPF is not recommended. We won't be used as well. And NAPTR also used by DDS applications. Okay, understand that? Especially again, I'm telling, we will be create the A record. Now you can see it A record. Select the A record, and here there are two ways. If you select the A record, you can directly update IP address here, and also you can directly update load balancer as well. Let's take example, your load balancer is available in different account, different AWS account. Then you can directly update here the particular load balancer. Whether it is public or private doesn't matter. You can update here. In case your load balancer is available in same account, then what you have to do, right? You can select the alias and then you can select what type of routing. If you see here, it will support a lot of things. You can create alias, another record in the host region, same record. If you want to be create alias, you can do that one. And also if you see here we have a API gateway and also app runner, app sync domain, and also cloudflare distribution. And also we have a elastic beanstalk. And also there are multiple things, application, network load balancer, especially in real time, right? Majorly we'll be used, one is application or classic load balancer, network load balancer, we'll be used this particular a record. We can use it for another one as well, but very rarely we will be use it. Let's take example, if we select the application load balancer, here you have to select the region, which region your load balancer is available, whether North Virginia, whether Oregon region. Currently, if you see here in North Virginia, sorry, you can give US East 1. If you see here we have a load balancer. Currently, I have already created a load balancer. In this particular North Virginia, whatever we have a load balancers, right? All the load balancer, you can able to see it here. Currently, if you see here, we have a load balancer MS-1. Okay, you can select this one. Here, if you observe here we have a simple routing. There are routing policies available. We can discuss later part so that you will get some idea. Example, you can select the simple routing, especially in real time. Majorly will be the routing policies, simple routing only. And you can give that evaluate target health, you can yes, and then you can create the record. Now what will happen, right? When you click this record, it will be create the record and it will be pointing this particular testing.tecqual with Murli dot into this particular load balancer. If you click this record, okay, now you can see it here, testing dot specific one, right? Now what you have to do, right? First you have to verify using NS lookup, open the NS lookup. Okay, now here you can open and you can use testing.tecqual with Murli.in, whether this particular record is resolving or not. Currently, if you see here, it is resolving, and also you can go here and you can resolve this particular domain. Okay, now I'm able to access. Give me 1 second. It is waiting. Now, if you see here, hello Muralidhar Reddy, this is the microservice one. Same thing we can create for another record. Go to the create a record, and also we can create for cname. Cname also you can give it. If you have any alias, you can select the specific alias one. Another, if you select the cname, right, it will support only alias to another record only. It won't be support all other things. And also, in case if you want to give another domain cname, you can give it. Even if you give the example, I can give it like Suresh. Suresh.equal Murli.in, and here if you give it like testing dot equal with Murli.in, it means like even though if Suresh.equal with Murli.in, it is automatically indirectly redirect to testing.equal with Murli.in only. They can able to access your application. Let's take an example. I can give it here 1 minute. Just create the record. Okay. Now if you see here, we have created, right? Go to here, storage data, right? Now, if first we can resolve this one, okay? I will also show you later part in detail, don't worry. But currently just, if you see here, Suresh dot, it is pointing to testing dot because we have given the cname, right? That's fine. Now you can go to the Google and you can search with that Suresh dot. It will be redirected to testing.equal with Murli only. You can able to access your application like hello Muralidhar Reddy. Hello Muralidhar Reddy. This is the microservice one. Okay, understand, right? We can create this type of things, and also we can create a multiple records. If you go here, right, you can create another records as well. MX record, you can directly give it. Okay, and also you can create a TXT record. You can give it directly. Okay, and also if you have any cname record, okay, and also if you want to be create a AA record also, you can give it here. Currently, we don't have any AA record. That's why it is not able to visible here. Okay, clear, right? This is the these are the records available in hosted zone, the particular hosted zone. Okay. Again, I'm telling a record, cname, txt, and sometimes if you are using subdomain delegation, we'll be create the NS main server records. Okay. Apart from that, remaining very rarely used. But in interview level, right, they may ask question what type of record types is available. You have to tell all the types or what are the use cases. But usually we will be use it for only a record, cname, and txt record. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? Now we are going to discussing about what is routing policy in hosted zone, what types of routing policies are available in hosted zone. Let's see discuss. Okay. First, we need to understand what exactly routing policy. Okay, routing policy is nothing but it will be specified how Amazon Route 53 responds to the DNS queries. Okay, inside the routing policy, right? When you create the record, we will be select the specific routing policy. Based on that one, it will be respond to the DNS query. Okay, it determines which resource records to serve based on various criteria such as geographical location, latency, and also we have other types of routing policies in hosted zone. You can see so that you will get some idea. Okay, now coming to there are different types of routing policies. Go to specific hosted zone. If you go here, we have a hosted zone equal with Murli. Select this particular one. Currently, I'm deleting existing all the records. Okay, currently I'm deleting all the existing records. Delete this. Delete record and delete it. Remember, guys, before going to delete, be careful because once you delete, you can't revert back. Okay. Now, what you have to do, right? We are discussing different types of routing policies, right? Select this particular create a record. And example, I'm selected that particular a record. I'm giving here, right? Testing example. Okay. Now you can here you can give the specific IP. Example, I'm giving the public IP. Inside this public IP, we install the HTTPD. Okay. Now, if you see here, if I hit this particular public API, right, I'm able to access Hello Muralidhar Reddy. This is the microservice one. Okay, fine. Now, if you see here you can select the specific TTL. TTL is more important. Okay, TTL is nothing but time to live. If I select that 300 seconds means 5 minutes. Later, currently I will update to another IP. It means like it will be wait for 5 minutes. Till 5 minutes, it will be use the existing value only. Okay, usually we'll give the 1 minute. Okay, usually we'll give the 1 minute. And coming to here, routing policy. Here we have a different types of routing policy. Depends on use cases, we will be use the routing policy. Example, you can click this info as well. You can able to see it in detail information. Coming to that first one, simple routing. This is the standard DNS functionality. When you create the record, right, default it will be select the simple routing only. If you want, you can change it to another one. And coming to the weighted one, let's take example. You have a two different EKS clusters in same region. Okay, if you want to be route the traffic 50-50, so then what we can do, right? We can use the weighted one, weighted policy. Example, in AWS we have EKS. If you create a two EKSs in same region, okay, if you want to be route the traffic, okay, 50-50%, you can use the weighted one. Not only same region, if you have a different region also, if you want to be maintain, give it weighted. Weighted is nothing but simple example. Let's take example, you have two different EKS clusters. Okay, one cluster needs to be route the traffic 50%, another cluster needs to be route the traffic 50%, then we can use this weighted one. Okay, and coming to the geolocation, what exactly geolocation? If you select the geolocation, right? Okay, if you select this geolocation, you have to select the specific country. Example, if you select this geolocation, it means like whoever, let's take example, Africa, America. Okay. So if you select this one, it will be allow specific location only. Example, this particular application wants to be access only, allow only access only specific country. We can select this one using geolocation. If you see here, geolocation record, let your traffic to your resource based on the geolocation of your users. Example, US, UK, you can select a specific one. Okay, you can select this particular specific one as well. And coming to here, latency. Okay, latency, if you see here, coming to the latency, right? In this particular latency, right? If you want to maintain the low latency, right? You can select the other region. If you see here, latency record, let your route traffic to resource in the AWS region that provide the lowest latency. Whatever lowest latency, right? We can select the particular one. Okay, all resource must be in the particular AWS region. Okay, understand, right? Fine. And coming to that IP base, right? Coming to the IP failover, you can use the failover. Let's take example. You have two different applications. Okay, you have created a record name. Okay, something happened in the particular application. If you want to give the secondary, you can give it. If you want to give the primary, you can give it. Okay, same failover, especially for some of the use cases, right? We may use the failover concept, failover routing policy, depends on use cases. Okay, this one also, let's take example, primary one is unhealthy, then automatically switch to the healthy one. automatically switch to the healthy one. Okay, currently we don't what I can say, right? Some of the use cases we will be using, but very rare. Okay, and coming to the multi-value answer, this particular multi-value answer request let you configure Route 53 to return multiple values, such as IP address of your web servers, and also in response to the DNS queries. You can choose this one. In reality, we won't use multi-value answer. You can ignore that one. And coming to the IP base, depends on IP base you have selected. Okay, the traffic will be route. Example, if you have listed the particular IP based one, okay, if you configure here, right, those IP, whatever you allowed, right, it will be allow this particular IPs only. I mean to say, like, it won't be route the traffic to other IPs. Okay, you can restrict this one. Okay, for that one, right, you have to give the, you have to create a specific IP based one CADR collections. If you go here you can see it here, CADR collection, right? Go to this particular CADR collections. Example, I'm giving demo example. Okay, now you can give it demo here. I'm giving the collection name, and also you can give it the CADR location is this one. Example, I'm giving 10.0.0.0. It means like it will be allow only this particular range. Okay, if you can select this one. Okay, now we have selected, right? Now if you go here and refresh. 1 second. Now again you can select IP base. Now if you see here you can see it. Okay, I can select the specific one, but this one also, right, IP based very rarely will be used. Again I'm telling here, right, IP based request let you route traffic to resource based on the IP address that you know. Okay, depends on you have configured this IP based, right, CADR collection. You can update and you can allow only specific one. Okay, understand, right? Fine. What is the next final one? Geo proximity. It looks like recently came. Geo proximity records let you configure Route 53 to your resource based on the geographic location of your users and your resources. Based on our users and resources, right, it will be route the traffic. Okay, understand, right? You can give it specific one, AWS local zone or AWS region. You can select the specific region as well. Okay, you can select this one, but it looks like recently came. Okay, but very rarely will we use this one as well. Okay, understand, right? Clear it? Again, I'm telling there are different types of routing policies available. One is simple routing, weighted routing, geolocation, latency, failover, multi-value answer, IP base, and geo proximity. Remember one thing, especially very majorly will be used it. One is simple routing, always will be used it. Some of the use cases will be used the weighted. I already said if you have two different EKS clusters, if you want to be route the traffic, 50% or 90-10%, you can choose this one. Okay, especially for that. And coming to the geolocation, based on location, if you want to be route the traffic, example, US people needs to be access only this particular application. For that, you can create the geolocation. You can allow only specific country. Okay, understand that? Remember, one of the most important question in interview level. Hey Murli, in Route 53, is it possible to allow specific users? Example, in US or UK, people needs to be access the particular application. Apart from that, no one can access. For that one, right, you can use the geolocation. Using geolocation, whoever accessing from UK or US, they can access the particular application. You can use this particular geo. I mean to say the traffic it will be go to this particular application. Okay, understand that? And failover latency, if you have any latency, if you want to choose another region, you can choose that one. Okay, but this one very rare, and failover depends on if primary is down, right, unhealthy, it will be, you can select the second and it will automatically route the traffic to the secondary as well. Okay, clear, right? These are the things. Again, I'm telling simple routing, 99% will be used the simple routing. Only 1 or 2% will be used remaining options. But still, interview level, they may ask question, types of, can you please explain that types of routing policies? So you have to tell all the things and what are the use cases so that they can easily identify, okay, this guy is properly aware of this one. Okay. Okay, understand that? Any questions now? We are going to discussing about how do we create the record in hosted zone. Okay, earlier we created a hosted zone, right? How we can create the record and how do we use it? Let's see, okay? Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, I'm in Route 53. If you see here, we have a Route 53 techwall with Murli.in. Inside this particular one, we have a one is name server and SOA startup authority, and we have two more records. I'm deleting these two. Will be create now. Okay, you can delete these two and click these records. And before going to delete, right, be careful. Just review it whether you are deleting correct one or not. Just delete this one. Okay. Now I have deleted. Now what you have to do? Now what you have to do, I have deleted this one. Now let's take example. We have a one application. It is the Linux server. Inside the Linux server, I have installed HTTPD. Okay, I'm able to access using this one, using public IP. If you see here, inside the public IP, I have mentioned Hello Muralidhar Reddy. This is a microservice one. Okay, and also I have created the TGW as well, TG as well, target group. Okay, this particular target group, I have attached the particular instances, targets, I have attached that particular instance as well. If you see here, I have attached it. Okay, now what? And also I have created the load balancer. I have created the load balancer as well. Okay, this particular load balancer, application load balancer, that to internet facing. Okay, and also I have attached the particular TGW, sorry, TG, and if you see here, MS-1 TG. TG is nothing but target group. Okay, clear right now? Now what you have to do, right? Instead of accessing public IP or load balancer, I want to create the record. How do we create? Okay, for that one, right? Go to the go to here, select the specific hosted zone. Example, techwall with Muli.in. This is a public hosted zone. Now what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to create the record. As I said earlier, we have different types of records, right? Different types of record. We can discuss now A record and cname so that you'll get some idea. Okay, for that one, right? I'm giving here, right? Record name MS-1 because my application is MS-1. MS is nothing but microservice one. Shortcut name microservice one. And here you have to select whether you want to be use A record or A record or cname, right? A record is nothing but you can update your IPv4. Okay, and also you can attach whatever you have a load balancer. You can declare alias. Okay, and also you have a record. But remember, guys, A record we won't be use it because it is IPv6. We won't be use it in real time, so we don't require. And coming to the cname, canonical name. Let's take example. You have a domain. Okay, you have a domain example ms-1. You want to be, you will be create another domain, and you can refer to this particular domain. It means like indirectly it will be route to the main domain only, main host or main record only. Okay, clear, right? We can see this one as well. Okay, and also we discussed everything, right? Earlier theory part, earlier video. Okay, fine. Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm selecting the MS-1. I have selected the record type is A record. Now here click the do two options. You can directly give the load balancer here. You can directly give the load balancer here. Let's take example this DNS name. We can directly give. When we will give this directly the load balancer name. Let's take example. Your load balancer is available in different account. That too, that load balancer also it is public or private, anything's fine. Okay, that load balancer is different account. So then you can directly give the load balancer DNS name here. But in case, so in our case, right, we have our load balancer in same account. So what you can do, right, you can select the alias. Okay, select the alias, and here if you see here route traffic to which one, where exactly, it will be supporting multiple. You can alias to another record. It is in this this hosted zone, same hosted zone only, and also it will support API gateway, and also it will support a app runner, everything, right? But in our case, especially we'll be use it. One is application load balancer and also network load balancer. Sometimes we'll be use the CloudFront as well, but depends on use case. Okay, example in it may require for API gateway also you need to update. You can do select this one and you can select. Okay, but in our case currently I'm selecting the application and classic load balancer because our load balancer is application load balancer. That's why I'm selected this one. Okay, now you can come here which region. Our load balancer is North Virginia, right? Our load balancer is North Virginia. That's why you have to select the North Virginia here. Okay, you have to select North Virginia. Okay. US East 1. Again, North Virginia. I have selected. Now you can see it here. If you have a multiple load balancer, you can see it here. Multiple load balancer here, drop down. But currently we have only one, right? You can select this one. You may ask question why Murli it is coming dual stack. Yes, when you attach in, right, by default it will add to the dual stack. This is the MS-1 is MS-1 is the our load balancer. You can select this one. I have selected. Now here I'm selecting the routing policy, simple routing. Okay, earlier we discussed that there are multiple routing policies. We have simple routing weighted. If you want to give the 50% or 90-10%, depends on use cases. Okay, you can also select the geolocation, right? Especially majorly in real time, we'll be create the simple routing only. You can select the simple routing. Okay, now here evaluate target health. Yes, fine. And then I'm creating. Okay, and now I'm creating specific record. Again, I'm telling here. I'm giving the record name is ms-1. It means ms-1 dot equal with murli dot in. You can able to access your record. Okay, and it will be resolved to the specific load balancer. Inside the load balancer, right? This particular load balancer will be resolved. Okay, fine. This particular record will be resolved to the load balancer. Now, if you see here, record type is a record. I have selected, and why I am selected alias. If your load balancer is different account, you can directly give it here. But our concept, right? The load balancer is same account, right? Same AWS account. That's why I use alias and selected the application load balancer. Then I selected the US East one. Okay, US East one. Give me 1 second. Where is that? North Virginia. Yeah, if you see here, US East one. Okay, now you can select the specific load balancer. This is our load balancer. Now I am creating the record. Now once you create, right? Once you create here, it will be create the record, and also you can see it here. This is the record, and whether it is a record or cname. Currently we have a record, right? I have selected a record, simple, alias, yes, this particular load balancer. Now what you have to do, right? Just copy this one. Okay, just copy this one and you can open an NS lookup. Okay, first you can check it. Once you add it, right, whether this particular record is resolving or not, you have to verify it. You have to verify it. For that one, right, you can open in NS lookup in your laptop. If it is not exist, please install it. Okay, now you can see it here. I'm giving that ms-1 dot equal with murli dot in. Okay, now if you see here, it is resolving. The particular resolution you are getting 2 IPs because our load balancer, when we are creating the load balancer, right? We selected 2 subnets. If you see here, when you create the load balancer, we selected 2 subnets, right? That's why it will be coming 2 IPs. And to that too, we are seeing the public IPs because our load balancer is public. Our load balancer is public internet facing. That's why. Okay, application load balancer is internet facing. Clear, right? Now it is resolving. It means like it is working fine. Now what you have to do, right? You can go to the Google. Okay, you can go to the Google. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah, you can go to the Google and open this and you can search with this particular domain. Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm entering this one. Now if you see here, wait for a few seconds, it is loading. And one more thing, guys, you have to verify it should be HTTP only. Currently not yet set to HTTPS. We required a certificate. Later what we can discuss. Now if you see here, we are getting hello Muralidhar Reddy. This is microservice one. Okay, we are able to access with public IP, we are able to access with load balancer, but load balancer is not recommended, right? We required one record, and in the particular record, we updated the record name is the particular load balancer. So it means if I hit this particular one, ms-1 internally, it will connect to this particular load balancer. This particular load balancer, it is already attached to the TG target group, and then the particular target group, it contains the specific EC2 instance, right? We already register. It means like the traffic, it will go to the particular EC2 instance. Okay, clear, right? Internally happen. Okay, clear, right? Now we are able to access this particular ms-1. And now if you see here, it is not secure because we haven't used the certificate. That's why it is showing that not secure. But in real time, we will be use the certificate HTTPS only. HTTPS is nothing but is more secure. Okay, but later part I will show you when it comes to the ACM concept. I will show you how do we create a certificate and how do we update that certificate inside the load balancer to access using HTTPS instead of HTTP. Currently, we are connecting using HTTP only. If you see here, HTTP. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? Now, a record part is completed. Now what we can do, right? We can create a cname. Cname is nothing but canonical name. What we will do, right? What we will do, go to that record, take with Murli. Okay, we have already existing record name is ms-1. Okay, now what I will do, right? I will create a one record. The record name is murli.techwithmurli.in, and then I will create that cname, and I will be pointing to existing record. Okay, existing record. It means like even though if I hit that particular murli.techwithmurli.in, okay, indirectly it will be connect to this particular ms-1. This particular ms-1 we already updated the load balancer, right? It will be accessing your application. Okay, for that one, right, what I'm doing here, right? Go to record and then first copy this ms-1. Okay, now create the record. Okay, and you can give it here example Murli-test. Okay, and then here very most important, you have to select the cname. Select the cname and you can give it directly existing record. And one more thing, guys, you can also, if you go check it here, right? When you select the cname, the particular record, whatever I'm giving Murli-test, right? It is in same account. You can select this another record and you can check, you can select here, but currently it is not visible. That is fine. Don't select this alias. You can directly give the value. If you see here, we are giving the directly the particular value. Understand, right? Murli-test, even though if I hit the particular Murli-test.techwithmurli.in, whatever is available in ms-1, it will be redirect, and then whatever is available in ms-1 data, I mean application, you can able to access using Murli-test as well. Okay, understand, right? Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm selecting that Murli-test. I'm selecting the cname. Okay, cname is nothing but canonical name. If you see here, route traffic to another domain name. Okay, I'm routing the traffic to another domain name. Even though if I select the Murli-test, internally it will go to the ms-1 only. Okay, and also need other AWS services also you can set up, resources also. But currently I'm selecting this one. Here one of the most important TTL. TTL is nothing but time to live. Usually we'll keep 1 minute. The reason is, right? Let's take an example. If you keep it 1 hour, okay, I have updated this one. Okay, example, I have updated ms-1 for Murli-test. In case in future, instead of ms-1, I need to update ms-2. Okay, if you mention 1 hour, right, you have to wait for 1 hour to reflect these changes. Until 1 hour, even if you update in Route 53, until 1 hour, still it will be used the ms-1 instead of ms-2. That's why usually we will keep it 1 minute, okay, to quickly resolve. Okay, TTL is nothing but time to live. And coming to the routing policy, right, we always select the simple routing only. We always select the simple routing only. Okay, now we can create the record. Click this record. Okay, now I'm creating the record as well. If you see here, I have created the record. Now what I can do, right? First, I will be use Murli-test dot equal with Murli.in. Now we can observe one thing here. 1 second. Now you can copy this Murli-test. If you observe one thing, I have given that inside the NS lookup, I have given Murli-test equal with Murli.in. Okay, clear, right? Now, if you see here, when I hit this particular one record, the particular main server lookup, it is giving the ms-1. The reason is Murli-test inside the Murli-test. When I'm creating the Murli-test record, I have given the cname is Murli-1, right? That's why we are it is getting that Murli-1. Inside the Murli-1, we have 2 IPs, right? Public IPs, because this ms-1, it contains the one application. I mean, one application load balancer. That load balancer we have attached 2 subnets. That's why you are seeing the 2 public subnets here. So 2 public IPs here. Okay, understand that? You may ask question, Murli, every time you are using NS lookup, is there any other alternative way? You can also use command prompt. Okay, you can use NS lookup. Okay, and then you can give that domain name. Okay, record name, not domain, record name. Now if you see here also using NS lookup, and then you can give the particular record name. You can able to get it here. Okay, understand that? Any questions now? Understand that? Any questions now? So this is the one of the most important, especially in real time, right? One is we create the A record with, if it is same account, you can use alias. If it is a different account, that load balancer, you can give it here. Okay. And also one more thing I want to showcase. Okay, instead of public IP, okay, we have already one EC2 instance, right? Instead of public IP, I can create a private. Okay, if you can take this private IP, copy this private IP. Okay, now what I'm going to do, right? I'm creating one A record. Okay, A record. I'm giving here, right? Private MS-hyphen private. I'm giving. Okay. MS-hyphen private. Now, if you see here, I need to give the public IP or private IP. You can directly, this particular alias, it will be work only for load balancer related, some other things. If you want to be update IP, you have to directly update here. Okay. I have given the A record is this particular one. Now I'm giving the 1 minute. If you see here, ms-hyphen private.techwallet.milli.in is a private IP I have updated. Okay. This particular record. Now you can see it here, create a record. Now I have created the record. Now I have created the record. Now what we can do, right? You can copy this particular one, ms-1. Now you can go to here. Now you can go to here, ns lookup. Okay, ns lookup. If you observe here, it is resolving 10.100 or 15.152. It is resolving whatever we have IP address. Now, if I go and check it in Google, you can't access. Even though your Route 53 is public hosted zone, you can't access until unless you connected to the client VPN. Remember, guys, again, I'm telling, okay, you may think like, hey, I have created a public hosted zone. Even though if I give public or private, doesn't matter, it needs to be accessed, right? No. If you create the public hosted zone, it will be resolved. Using NS lookup, you can able to see what is the private IP for this one. It will be resolved. But when comes to the private, right? Even if you create, when you create the Route 53 record name, okay, the particular record name, you have updated the private IP. It means like first you have to be connect to the client VPN. Example, if it is AWS, you have to connect to the client VPN, then you can able to access your application, because this particular record we have updated private IP or private DNS. Example, application load balancer, internal DNS, internal facing. Okay, you have to connect to the client VPN, then you can access your application. Okay, understand, right? Any questions now? Any questions now? No, right? Okay. See, this is one of the most important, whether you are really expert or not, whether you really, how do we create the records, everything, whether you export or not, they can easily to identify asking these questions. How do we create the record? What is the uses of a record? How do we create it to your load balance in different account? How do we create the record in another account? Okay, everything they will be asking. And also, right, very rare cases will be used TXT. Okay, remaining part very rare. We don't record much, but especially in interview level, right? What type of records we have? What type of record you worked? They will be asking this type of questions. You can tell A record, cname. Okay, especially A record and cname. Sometimes, right, we'll be use TXT as well. And also, you can also update our name servers as well. If you have a subdomain delegation, you have to create the name servers as well. AAA record, we won't be use it. Remember, you can ignore that one as well. Okay, understand that? Fine. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. We are going to discussing about how do we create the private hosted zone in Route 53. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. Earlier we discussed about the creation of public hosted zone, right? Now what we need to do, right? Now we will be create the private hosted zone. For that one, I'm in Route 53. If you see here, currently we have a public hosted zone. Now we need to create the private hosted zone. For that one, right? Create a hosted zone. Here I'm giving that hosted zone name is tech world with Murli.org. Okay, example, my domain name is this one. Okay, now you can give the description also. Remember, guys, depends on organization level, they may use a different name, but currently I'm giving a tech world with Murli, our website url.org. Okay, but now we can give the description as well. Here you have to select the private hosted zone. As I said, right, if you use the private hosted zone, right, you have to enabling DNS, we have to enable that DNS host names and also DNS support as well. You have to keep it true at VPC level. Okay. Now what I'm doing here, right, in North Virginia, US East 1, North Virginia, I'm selecting the specific VPC, Devo VPC. Okay. Now I'm creating the VPC. It means like this particular, whatever I'm creating this hosted zone, techwall with mulli.org, it will be resolved only this specific VPC that to dev-VPC. Okay, we already having dev-VPC, right? That VPC I have selected here. Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm creating the hosted zone. Now it is creating the hosted zone. Now what you have to do? Go to the VPC. Okay, go to the VPC. As I said, right? You have to enabling DNS support and the host name related one, right? Go to here. Go to the your VPCs and select your VPC and go to the actions and go to the edit VPC settings. Here you have to enable both this option, okay? And then you can give the save. Now we have done that one. Now what you have to do? Now we have created hosted zone, that is private hosted zone. If you observe here, it is a private hosted zone. When we create, whether it is public or private doesn't matter, it will be create the two records. One is NS. NS is nothing but name server. Second one is SOA, startup authority. Here you have to remember one thing. When you create a private hosted zone, right, you don't require to update this name servers in domain. Any domain. Let's take example in public. We have added that name servers to the GoDaddy, right? Because our domain in GoDaddy, we have updated the name servers. But when it comes to the private hosted zone, right, we don't require to update because this particular private hosted zone, it will work resolve within the VPC only. Okay. Now we can check it here. This is a hosted zone name and hosted zone ID and also description. And here, if you see here, this is a private hosted zone, and you can see it here. Record count is 2. And also, if you see here, which VPC we have attached. If you want, you can attach multiple VPCs. I already showcased, right? We can add multiple VPCs also with the same. Okay, depends on use cases. We'll be select. Example, I have selected only for dev purpose. Okay, clear, right? This part is completed, and also as I said, right, we don't require to update the name servers to the domain in GoDaddy because it is a private hosted zone. It will be resolved within the VPC only. We don't require to update the particular name servers to the domain. Okay, clear. This part is completed, right? Now what I'm doing here, right? I have a EC2 instance. Okay, in this particular EC2 instance, if you see here public IP, I'm able to get the particular name. Okay. Now what I want to do, right? Give me 1 second. It looks like I used wrong. Refresh this. Yeah, it is running public AP. Yeah, if you see here, allow Murli, this is the microservice one. Okay, fine. Now I'm able to access using public AP. Now what we need to do, right? As I said, this particular VPC is internal only. It means within the VPC it will be resolved. But what I'm doing here, right? I'm trying to. I will be creating one record and then I'll be use NS lookup whether it will work or not. Let's see. Okay. For that one, I'm giving like here ms-1 and then .techwall with mulli.org. Okay. Now here I'm giving the public or private IP. Example, first I'm giving the public IP and you can give it update here. I have updated and gave that 1 minute. Okay, create a record. Now if you see here, we have given the we have created the specific record, that to a record, and we have updated the public IP. Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm using NS lookup. Okay, I'm trying to resolve this one. I mean, record whether it is resolving or not. Let's see. Okay, now you can give it here. Now it is throwing the error like no existent domain. Okay, the reason is even if you wait for a couple of minutes also, it won't be resolved. The reason is, as I said, this particular whatever we created a hosted zone, right? It is a private hosted zone. It means like one thing is you have to connect a client VPN. Wherever you created the client VPN, that particular VPC and whatever you created hosted zone, this particular VPC should be peering connection established, either peering connection or TGW, transit gateway. Okay. Transit VPC, it should be communicated. Then only you can able to resolve this particular one. Currently, the reason it won't be resolved, the reason is this particular one is private hosted zone. Private hosted zone, it will be resolved within the VPC only. Even if you give public IP also, doesn't matter. It won't be resolved. Okay. For that one, what we can do, right? I will connect this particular server. Okay. This server, it is in same VPC only. Same VPC only. If you observe here, come down. Dev VPC only, we can use NS lookup and resolve it, whether it is resolving or not, like we can see it. Okay, clear, right? Yeah, this server I have connected. If you observe here, I have connected the particular server. The server is in same VPC wherever we created the hosted zone. Now, before going to that one, if you see here, again, I'm trying to do the ms-1 techworld with murli.org, because this particular Route 53 hoster zone is private, so it should not be resolved outside. If you want to be resolved outside, right, first you have to connect to the client VPN, example in AWS client VPN, then that particular client VPN, VPC, our VPC should be connectivity should be established either using VPC peering or transit gateway. Then you can, when you use the NS lookup, it will be work for using client VPN. In case, currently we don't have any client VPN, right? What I said, if whatever we created this particular tech wall with Murli, it is a private one. It means it will be resolved within the VPC. It means like I created one EC2 server, that is EC2 server, it is under Dev-1 VPC. If you see here, Dev-1 VPC, I have connected the particular server. Now what I'm doing here, right? Inside this particular server, I'm using NS lookup. Okay, I'm using NS lookup, and then I'm giving the particular name. You can go to here, you can copy this particular record, whatever we created, ms-1. Okay, it should be resolved. If you go and check it here, right, it is resolving. If you observe here, this is the IP, and if you see here, NS lookup, that particular one, and it is resolving. Okay, understand it? This is the uses of creating, understand it, what exactly uses of private hosted zone. If you create the private hosted zone, it will be work within the VPC only. Okay, in case if you want to work outside of VPC, right, you should be use client VPN. That client VPN should be communicate between client VPN VPC and our whatever we created hosted zone VPC should be connectivity established. Then we can able to use outside of VPC server. Okay, understand that? Any questions now? See, now NS lookup, that particular one, where everything is fine. Now what I'm doing here, right? I'm using curl command -kb, and then I'm using this particular HTTP, because not yet we haven't set up for HTTPS. Just we have to use HTTP, and then you have to give the URL. Okay, then you can give it. If you see here, you are getting 200 error, 200 response. It means like everything is working fine. If you use same command outside of server, right, outside of VPC, example, you can open NS lookup, sorry, CMD, and if you are trying outside, not I'm not doing this curl command inside of server. If you see here, you are getting this could not be resolved, this particular hosted zone. Okay, you not resolve the particular record. Okay, understand that? Same thing, whether you are giving public IP, public IP or private IP, doesn't matter. Whatever you created this particular hosted zone, it will be resolved within the VPC only. Until unless if you are not connecting client VPN, you can't resolve this one. Okay, understand that? This is the major difference between public hosted zone and private hosted zone. If you go with public hosted zone, right, I'm not, even if you let's take an example, we have this MS1, right? You can take this one. This is the public hosted zone. Okay, if I use this NS lookup, right, NS lookup, okay, if I use this NS lookup, it is working fine, because this particular whatever tech hole with murli.in is a public hosted zone. That's why it is resolving. Okay, it is resolving. And also if you use curl command also, it will work. Curl kb http:// you can give the specific domain name. Currently it is the default /index.html. That's why it is taking. In case in real time, right, it will be like v1 / health something, it will be there. You have to give the entire path. Okay, -kb, sorry, curl extra gay y. Now if you see here, you are getting the 200 response. Understand that? This is the process of creating a private hosted zone, and also what a differentiation between private and public hosted zone. Okay, and depends on use cases, will be create the private hosted zone, especially for lower environments, dev, QA, UAT, will be create the private hosted zones. Okay, sometimes, right, we'll be create a public hosted zone only, and we'll be create a subdomain delegations, so we can maintain private, public related one. Even if you, as I said earlier, right, even if you create a hosted zone is public, if you mention inside this particular record is private, it won't be resolved until unless, it will be resolved, but it won't be access the application until unless we'll connect the client VPN. Okay, understand that? Any questions now? This is one of the most important in interview level. They will ask the question, what is the difference between public hosted zone and private hosted zone? Which hosted zone you guys are using? How do you restrict? Especially in real time, majorly we'll use the public hosted zone for even dev, QA, UAT also. Some of the use cases you want to be access the particular application, whatever records are, right? It should be within the VPC. We will be create the private hosted zone, depends on use cases. Okay, clear, right? And one more thing, guys. Now we are going to discussing about how do we configure query logging for a hosted zone. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. Okay. So remember, guys, like we already created our hosted zone, right? We need to enable logging so that if something issue with the hosted zone level, we can verify that particular records, whether it is able to resolve or not. Everything it will be captured that query logging. Okay, fine. Now what you have to do? Go to the Route 53. Now if you see here we already created the Route 53, that is techol with murli.in. Okay, select this one. Okay, now what you can do, right? Select the specific one. Here we have an option configure query logging. Click this one. Okay, here remember, you have to remember one thing. When you are creating a specific query logging, okay, it will be stored in CloudWatch. Okay, it will be stored in CloudWatch. Okay, that CloudWatch also it should be North Virginia. Remember, guys, this is one of the most important in interview level. Also, you should be aware if you are enabling query logging. Basically, Route 53 hosted zones are global level, right? Even though it is global level, when you are configuring query logging, that particular CloudWatch group should be in North Virginia. Okay, it should be in North Virginia only, US East one only. Okay, now if you want to be create a new one, you can create it. If you have existing one, you can select this one. So now what you have to do, right? You can go to the CloudWatch. Okay, you can go to the CloudWatch. Okay, CloudWatch. Okay, here this inside the CloudWatch, right? You should be in North Virginia only. Again, I'm telling you should be in North Virginia. The particular cloud group should be created in North Virginia. If you create a different region, if you are trying to select here, right, it won't be visible. Okay, remember that point. Okay, fine. Now what you have to do? Now we selected that one. That is fine. Now I'm creating one hosted zone. Sorry, log group. Create the log group, and here you have to create the log group. Okay, now currently we don't have anything. Create a log group, and here it is asking the log group name. What you have to do, right? You have to follow the format. You have to give like /AWS /route53 / you can give any domain name. Example, your domain is techol with murli.in, right? You can give that one. Okay, now what you have to do, you can give /AWS / okay, route53 / okay, and then you can give the domain name. Okay, your wish, you can give any name, but usually recommended is whatever which domain you are going to be configure that particular hosted zone, right? Give the same name only. Okay, now you can select here. I'm giving 1 day, and if you see here we have two options, standard and infrequent. We already discussed, right? If you are not aware, please have a look our existing CloudWatch concept so that you will get some idea. I'm selecting the infrequent, and then you can I'm selecting standard one only. Now you can create a log group. Okay, now we have created log group in North Virginia. If you see here, this is the creation. Now what you have to do, you can refresh this one. Now you can select this particular existing one. If you see here, the particular extension here, it is already giving like /AWS /route53. Then you have to give any domain name. Okay, now I'm giving this one. I selected the particular log group. But one thing, right? When you are setting up hosted zone logging, query logging, you have to you require the permissions for that one, right? You can select the grant permissions here. Okay, and also you can see the details so that you will get some idea. If you see here, it is showing that allow specific route 53, and here actions are create a log stream and also put log events. Okay, inside the particular log group. Okay, log group is nothing but CloudWatch. Okay, now what I'm doing here, right? I'm clicking the grant permissions. Now what will happen? It will be create the permissions. Okay, fine. Now it is applied the permissions. Now you can see it here selected, and also you can see it here, right? You can also see the log group policy. Whatever we created, it is available here. Now what we have to do? Just create this one. Now once we create this one, right, logging. Okay, now we can see it here. View query logging configuration. Earlier it was configure. Now it is showing the view query logging configuration. Click this one. Now you can check it here, like it will be generate one ID, which hosted zone ID, and also you can check it here, a particular log group ARN as well. Okay, now we can go here and you can check it here, refresh this one page. Okay, refresh this. Okay, if you set up the correctly the particular log group query logging, it will be create one dummy test log stream. Okay, it means like, hey, Murli, this particular Route 53, we have configured logging, okay, query logging. So it should be stored here because it is already given that test log stream. It means like everything's fine. Going forward, right? Whatever we are querying, let's take example, I'm querying the specific domain. Okay, we already created one domain, right? Go to here. Okay, go to here, go to domain. Example, we have ms-1. Okay, you can check this one URL. Now you can get it the particular application. Hello Muralidhar Reddy, this is the microservice one. This particular ms-1, right? We have updated the public API. If you observe here, we have updated our public API of that particular EC2 instance. Inside the EC2 instance, we launched the HTTP and we have updated that content. Okay, clear, right? If you are not aware, please have a look at our initial video. Route 53, I already explained like we are going to use one EC2 instance. Inside the EC2 instance, we install the HTTP and also we have created TG target group, and also we have created LLB. Everything I have explained. Please have a look. Okay, fine. Now, if you see here, now we can able to see it here. You have to wait for a few minutes, okay, to reflect that whatever query is happening. Okay, now you can see it here. Currently, we have only one. That is a test one. It means like, okay, authentication, everything's fine. It will be stored the logs to CloudWatch. Okay, now what I'm doing here, right? We can wait for a few seconds. I'm hitting multiple times. Okay, I'm hitting multiple times. Meanwhile, wait for a few seconds. So it will be write the logs to CloudWatch. Okay. Now, if you see here, we have a log stream and also the logs are stored here. Whatever query logging, that particular host Trojan, it is stored here. Just click this one. You can able to see it, all the information. If you observe here, this is the version and also when it was and what is the host zone ID, what is the record name, okay, whether a record or some under no error, UDP, everything you can able to see it here, okay. All the information you can able to see it here. Understand that whatever we querying, right? Example, I'm querying this one. Example, I'm hitting this one, right? It will be write that logs to the CloudWatch, okay, clear, right? And one more thing, you have to understand this particular query format. Give me 1 second. You can go to Google and you can search with AWS Route 53 query logging format, and then you get this particular URL, first URL, public DNS query, because our domain is public, right? You can select that one and you can come down here. You can see that particular format. Okay, what are the values are coming, right, for the particular logs, right? One is log format version. If you observe here also we got we can select this one. If you observe here, we got this particular version. This is the version, okay, then date, okay, you can see it here, all the information, query timestamp, posted zone ID, query name, okay, and also query type, whether it is a record, cname, everything, and the response code, whether it is getting what exactly response we are getting, layer protocol, either TCP or UDP, and also route 53 edge location if you have anything, okay, and also resolver IP addresses, and also EDNS client subnet. Okay, you can see all the information. Same thing if you see here, these are the logs we can able to see it here, right? So same, okay, once we enable, right, it will be stored here. We can able to check the logs. But remember guys, in real time, very rarely will be use these logs, but for best practice, right, we usually will be enabling this particular logs, okay? We will be enabling the particular logs, but in real time, right, instead of storing in standard, right, we will be store it in infrequent to save some cost, okay? Understand, right? Any questions? But one thing, right? One thing you have to remember, it won't be take much space, because it won't be, I mean, the logs will be stored very less. So it won't be an issue, but still we'll be create a log group as a infrequent access, right? Okay, then we'll be configured here. Okay, understand that? And you can also see here one day everything we kept configuration, and also we'll be keep that particular retention is 1 day or 1 week or 10 days based on depends on use cases. Okay, clear, right? Any questions now? This is one of the most important topic. I mean, how do we enabling query logging? Query logging to enabling easy only, but only one thing you have to remember: the particular CloudWatch should be created in North Virginia. If you create another region, if you're trying to configure it here, right, you can't, because the particular AWS, even though Route 53 in global level, but when you configuring the particular logging, right, you have to be in North Virginia. Okay, and one more thing, guys, even IAM also, if you remember, if you want to raise any request, right, if you want to increase any service quota, example, if you want to increase policies, okay, you have to go to the North Virginia and you have to raise the ticket. Same thing here also. If you want to raise any service quota related information, you have to go to the North Virginia and then you have to increase Route 53 related one also. Remember, okay? Understand that? Any questions? Fine. Now we are going to discussing about deletion of hosted zones. Earlier we created the hosted zones, right? Both public and private. Now we can delete the hosted zones because once our practice is completed, we need to delete that hosted zones as well. Okay. For that one, go to the AWS. Okay. And here you can search Route 53. Route 53. And here you can see that Route 53. In this particular Route 53, if you see here hosted zones, right? Click this hosted zones. And here you can see that both public and private hosted zone. If you see here public and private, I'm going to delete the private hosted zone, that is techwallwithmurli.org. Select this one and I'm trying to delete this one. Now I'm getting the error like first you have to delete the records except NS name server record SOS. Okay, start of authority record. Okay, except these two records, remaining you have to delete. So what you have to do? Go to inside this particular hosted zone, and here if you see here, we created one hosted zone here, sir, one record. If you see here, that is ms-1. First we have to delete this one, then you can delete the hosted zone as well. Okay, first we have to delete the record. Select this one, delete a record, and then delete it. Remember, when you are deleting the hosted zone, right? First we have to clean up all the records except this name server and SOA. Okay, understand right? Now we have deleted. Now what you have to do? We have to delete this hosted zone. Okay. Now click select this one, and here you can select this particular one, delete, and then here you can give the particular name, delete. Okay. And then here you can see that, right? Now I'm able to delete. If you see here, we have deleted this particular hosted zone. Same thing for public also. Okay. Public, you can go here and you can select the specific all the records you can delete, and then you can delete this particular hosted zone. Okay, clear, right? This is the process of deleting any of the hosted zone. First we have to delete. What you have to delete? We have to delete the records, then we have to delete the hosted zone. Okay, clear, right? Any questions? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram, and also we have a Tech with Murli website. I already publish all the DevOps related courses. Okay, if you are anyone planning to enroll the course, you can use DevOps 50 coupon code to get 50% discount. Okay, for 1 year plan. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.